Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, September 26th, 2022 by Gaia Blooming. I am Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I allow myself to see relationships as expansive. And today we have the Sun opposite Jupiter. So we had the moon soon after the new moon opposing Jupiter. And even though an opposition can sound like opposing sides, a lot of times there's actually a lot of balance. Speaking of Libra energy, a lot of balance in the oppositions. And as I look at this Sun opposite Jupiter energy, one of the things that I feel beyond the expansive feels that this is meant to bring is remembering how expansive relationships are for us and that they are meant to be expansive for us. There's the saying, since I looked at the astro, no man is an island, has been popping up all day. We are never alone. We are never not relating, whether it's relating to the earth around us, God, universe, the people, the animals, the plants, the trees, the air around us. We are always in relationship. We are always relating. And these relationships have the power to expand us. They also at times may contract us. And that's for us to start recognizing as well. The relationships that feel contractual, interestingly enough, that make us feel contraction. What is our relationship there that's causing that contraction? And how can we work that into our overall expansion, right? So today's energy is about that expansion. Jupiter loves that expansion. We're at 3 degrees, which is that degree of expansion. And even though this is about relating, Jupiter in Aries reminds us that all of these lessons are also about who we are and really expanding into who we are. So we're going to have that energy. That being said, we may feel some push and pull in our expansive energy. The top of the cards that I have today is the projections card. So we may feel some he said, she said, they said energies coming up in and through this. We may not find ourselves agreeing, but even in that, how is that calling you into your expansion? That's the traveling card for me. The traveling card has a few layers of it. One of it's like, what baggage do you need to put down for your moving forward? But it's also about expansive, learning deeper lessons about yourself. Oh, and right under that is the receptivity card. So being receptive, even through any challenges that pop up today, being receptive. Now, speaking of being receptive, we also have Venus conjunct Mercury today. And again, these planets are very much connected to Pluto. So there could be some power energies, but again, there's meant to be ahas. There's meant to be understanding coming about in and through this energy. And your work is to listen. Your work is to pay attention to what is coming through you in and through this. As we move on through the day, the moon is going to connect to Mars and Gemini. I just realized it's Monday and I should be doing the week ahead. We'll dig into that in just a second. Well, moon will be connecting into Mars and Gemini, and Saturn, kind of a wide trine in air. So it may feel a little bit airy for us. Maybe a lot of mental inspiration moving through. Definitely change. Definitely stuff moving in and through the day. Check your alignment. Make sure that you're staying in alignment. That's one of the things about relationship is that sometimes, especially with that Mars energy, we may find ourselves chameleoning rather than working our own path. That's where that Saturn piece comes in. It's like, hey, you can get along and you can continue walking your path. So keep that in mind. Also feeling with that Saturn energy, I do have the Rebel card. So there is this potentiality for breaking through some really old patterns. Those maybe some ancestral projected patterns, but I think we're going to be breaking through some patterns. So let's look at the week ahead. Brains, okay. This week ahead, we finish up September. We move into October. We're going to have Venus moving out of Virgo into Libra. With Venus finishing up at the final degrees of Virgo, we may have some spikes in our mental energy, but this is definitely meant to take that energy into self-care, showing up for yourself. Venus into Libra brings a whole new layer of relating that we're going to definitely look into. We're also finishing up our Mercury retrograde. Mercury will be going direct on October 2nd. Hooray! I am ready for that to be happening. So, not a hugely exciting week, but those two things definitely have some good energy. Last card that I did not dig into. Patience. And I think when it comes to relationships with all, patience is definitely something we can all utilize, whether it's patience with ourselves in our processing or patience with the other. So remember that today, especially as any projections spike up. Booking eclipse readings. So we have an eclipse in just about a month. Our first eclipse of two for our second eclipse set of the season. First eclipse will be in Scorpio, the second eclipse in Taurus. So you can book those readings by emailing me, mimiclark@gmail.com. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and honor your values. Namaste.